Okay, good morning, class. And only last section of it was left for this chapter to finish. So, quickly, let us just recapitulate. Now, in the Sufi philosophy, we read that it was the word which had its origin from Arabia, and Sufi meant one who's pure. And these principles were basically based on Hadith and Quran. So the followers, they were following that God is the only means of being all powerful and supreme. It was believed that God is the only means for serving the human beings, and it preached Sufism preached that irrespective of what custom, religion, caste one belonged to, all should be given equal status and should be treated equally. Please switch off the mic. Then Sufis also believed in the devotional music. They also kept prayers and fasted. Then, as some of the Sufi saints, they even just ate grass and leaves, wore rags, etc. Now, some of the prominent Sufi saints were also known as Pir, and they first stood up against the orthodox ulemas. Ulemas are the religious teachers. Now they told us about some prominent saints, one among them being Baba Farid, and he was a disciple of Moinuddin Chishti. Moinuddin Chishti was the starter or the forerunner of the Chishti Silsila. He still has his dargah in Ajmer. He settled in 1192. He came to India and settled here, and it was here that number of people were inspired by him. Until date, he is remembered. Then we also talk of Nizamuddin Aulia, who was a disciple of Baba Farid. That means Moinuddin Chishti, his follower was Baba Farid, and Baba Farid's follower was Nizamuddin Aulia. Then there were certain Sufi orders. They were also known as silsilas. They lived in a place called Khank, just as the monks lived in monasteries. The Sufis, the place where they dwelled, they called it Khank. And the prominent silsilas among the um 12 orders or the 12 silsilas were the Chishtis, Suhrawardis, and Firdausiyas, and the Kalandariyas. So among them, the two were dealt here in the book, the Chishti Silsila, which talked about some prominent saints, and you were supposed to underline those names: Sheikh Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, Sheikh Farid or Baba Farid, then Nizamuddin Chirag Dilli, then there was Hazrat Nizamuddin Aulia, who was also known as Mehboob Ilahi, beloved of God, then Banda Nawaz, then Gez, Gesud, Gesud Daraz of Gulbarga, and so on. Then we talked of Sohrawardis. Among them, the prominent was Sheikh Bahauddin Zakaria, and the other famous saints were Shah Alam Bukhari and Sheikh Shihabuddin Sohrawardi. So they were the popular silsilas, and these were in Sindh and northwestern India where they were popular. Then we read about Kabir, and you must be surprised why I am recapitulating this portion, because if you remember last time when we were doing, Aaron had made a video out of it, which was just useless because it was of 1 minute. I'm not saying Aaron did it useless. I'm saying the video was useless because it was just of 1 minute 37 seconds, and it had no audio in it. So I thought if I just quickly recapitulate it with you, this at least this last portion which was left to be recorded for the children supposing they have missed out this lecture, could actually go through and understand what it's all about. So that is why I'm just going through it again. I know we have to just read Guru Nanak, okay? So then we talked of Kabir. He was the one who was brought up by the Muslim weaver family known as Niru and Nima. And he later on tried to become the disciple of a Hindu saint, Ramananda. But it was through efforts he got mm, under him, though he was a Muslim boy of a lower caste. Okay, so he also wrote in the Dohas or the capitulates, and they were basically Guru Nanak was also inspired by him. And in the holy book called Guru Granth Sahib, nearly 500 verses have been incorporated from Kabir's devotional songs only. And he preached the gospels of equality, and he wanted to unite all castes and do away with the differences between Hindus and Muslims. At the time of his death, also, when there was a confrontation between Hindus and Muslims who wanted to bury him in their ways, it was when the cloth was removed, there were only flowers which were taken away by the Hindus and Muslims and done as it was done. Okay. Now we come on to Guru Nanak. All eyes there. This is the portion which is left, and with that we'll end up the chapter. Guru Nanak was the founder of Sikhism. His goal was to unify the Hindus and Muslims. Like others, like Kabir, he also worked for the Hindu-Muslim unity. Guru Nanak was born on April 15th, 1469 at Talwandi. Please underline these details. It was now known as, it is now known as Nanak Sahib. Now the place is known as Nanak Sahib. Okay, I don't know if Guru Nanak is known as Nanak Sahib. Sorry, it is no. The place is known as Nanak Sahib, and is situated near Lahore in present-day Pakistan. His father Lalu Chand was a Patwari, and his mother was Sita Devi. So please remember the names. At the tender age of 5, Nanak began speaking about God. He began to study Hindu, Persian, Punjabi, and Sanskrit. So these were the language and the scripts which he was interested in. At 18 years, he was married to Lakshana Devi. He had two sons, but domestic life was not for Nanak. He believed that his true family consisted of loyalty to truth, mercy, happiness, devotion, and compassion. So he discarded his family life where he had a wife and two sons, and he believed that it is only through truth, mercy, happiness, devotion, and compassion that world could be attained. The true meaning of peace could be attained. Nanak did not believe in rituals or superstitions, so he also kept things simple. He believed in simple religion and high thinking. He believed that there was just one God, the chanting of God's name, and a life of purity and charity would lead to freedom from the cycle of birth and death. So he was the preacher of purity and charity, and it was through this that the cycle of birth and death would be one. So he believed in the theory of karma and rebirth. He said that if you have strong karma, अगर आपके कर्म अच्छे हैं, the actions that you perform, if they are good, then you get rewards in the when you take a rebirth. He spread Sikhism to Burma, Iraq, Tibet, and Sri Lanka. Please underline these places. Apart from India, these were the places where it spread. He composed a set of poems. Sorry, I lost the line. That formed the first chapter of the holy book, the Granth Sahib. So, in the first chapter of Guru Granth Sahib, those who belong to the religion would tell better that those are compiled of the poems written by him. These poems inspire many a Sikh to live a good life, follow the basic principle of prayer, right living, and the unity of God. Fellow beings, Guru Nanak passed away in AD 1539 at the age of 70. Please underline this year, 1539. This was when he died. The spirit of sharing and giving is an important message from Guru Nanak. Underline the spirit of sharing and giving. That means he believed in charity. Before his passing away in 1539, Guru Nanak appointed Lehna, that is Guru Angad, as his successor. Guru Angad compiled the preachings of Guru Nanak, to which he added his own teachings in a new script called Gurumukhi. So the language in which they wrote was Gurmukhi. Okay, it was also a common language at that time known to the people. So after his death, he appointed Guru Angad as his next disciple to take over. So he compiled all whatever was written by Guru Nanak, and also Guru Angad added the few teachings after him. Gurmukhi was the language in which was the writing in which he. Please switch off your mic. Who's being disobedient? The three successors of Guru Angad preached, and all of their compositions were compiled by Guru Arjan in 1604. So now, after Guru Angad, the three successors, that means who the next three people who came into succession, their work was compiled by the next Guru after them, Guru Arjan. If you know, his full name is Guru Arjan Dev. Okay, and so it was in 1604. Later on, hymns of Sheikh Farid, Kabir, Namdev, and Guru Tegh Bahadur were added. So these were the other compilations, the important verses of the hymns from Sheikh Farid, that is the Sufi saint, then Kabir, then Namdev, and Guru Tegh Bahadur. All their teachings and preachings and hymns were incorporated in Guru Granth Sahib. Later on, this compilation was authenticated by Guru Gobind Singh in a book called Guru Granth Sahib. So it was Guru Granth Sahib written by Guru Gobind Singh, who compiled all this work finally and made it a holy scripture for the Sikhs. Then the Mughals looked at Sikh gurus as potential threats. Now, the Mughals who were ruling, they found these gurus as a threat to them, as a danger to them. Jahangir ordered the execution of Guru Arjan Dev. Aurangzeb ordered the execution of Guru Tegh Bahadur. Hence, Guru Gobind Singh founded the Khalsa in 1699. Khalsa Panth therefore became a political entity. So it was under Guru Tegh Bahadur that a Khalsa was formed, that is, a fighting group of Sikh was formed to take up a fight, and this so happened in 1699. And ever since then, they became a political organization. Okay, that means they ruled over that area in Punjab, etc., and they were looking after the political administration over there. Now we come on to the multiple choice questions. First one, though we have done A and B, but we will just quickly see and finish it off. Ramcharitmanas was authored by, the answer is 1A, Tulsidas. Okay, then just a second. Okay, then the Nayanars were devotees of Lord Shiva to be. Which of the following statements regarding Shankaracharya is incorrect? So the incorrect statement is the D1, 3D. He believed in Dvaita. Okay. Number 4, the Veera Shiva movement led by Basavana was based in Karnataka. 4A.
Ma'am,
The famous, yes,
can you repeat, ma'am, option one?
option 1 is Tulsidas. Option 2 is Shiva. Option 3 is he believed in Dvaita. Option 4 is Karnataka. Option 5, the famous Sufi saint Gesudaras had his headquarters at Gulbarga. 5B. Then we come on to match the following. This exercise. So, Baba Farid was the disciple of Moinuddin Chishti. 1D. Alwars, they were the the famous saint was Periyallavar. 2C. Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti was in Ajmer. 3A. Guru Nanak is Sikhism. 4E. And Kabir Dohas. 5B. State the following statements are true or false. The first one is, let us go through it. The Nayanars were worshippers of Lord Shiva. True. Kabir was the disciple of Ramanuja. Right there. False. Underline Ramanuja. It is Ramananda. Kabir was the disciple of Ramananda, not Ramanuja. Ramananda. Mirabai was a Rajput princess. True. The Alvars were 63 in number from various castes. Right there. False. And make it correct by underlining 63. Right there. 12. Shankara advocated Advaitism that preached oneness of the individual soul and supreme God. That is true. Now we come on to the fill in the blanks. Okay. Looking at the first fill in the blank, the Bhakti saints stressed on selfless love, and the answer is devotion. First blank is devotion. Then next, Chaitanya composed hymns, Hymns. Then number three, the Sufi movement originated in Arabia. Number four, the Guru Granth Sahib contains 500 verses of Kabir. Guru Granth Sahib. Then last, Mirabai was a Rajput princess. And these question answers E12345 and F1234 I have already given to you in a PDF. I hope each one of you has it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. Can you get to the screen sharing?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So these are the answers E1, E2. Now, here the spelling of Alvars is wrong. I have made a correction. I hope you understood. Then E3, then E4, then E5, then F1. Now for F2, please only do the ticked ones. That is the third jota, fourth jota, fifth jota. These three jotas which are visible on the screen. This, then leave the other one, then this last jota. The ones with a tick mark, only those are to be copied for F2. Then F3 is given here and F4 is given here. I have quickly shown it on the recorded message so that those who have missed out, they can ask for this PDF from their friends and can deal with it. Or if you leave a message in the group, I will help you. So with this, we come to an end of the chapter. I stop here now. Now, next time when we meet, we will be doing the next civics chapter. I'll tell you the name of the chapter. Actually, in the new book, the second chapter is missing. So we I have a second chapter as understanding advertising. Now that chapter is missing from your book, so we will cancel that chapter. Okay, understanding advertising can be cancelled. Those who have the old book, please cancel that. So the second chapter after understanding media and civics, we'll come on to markets around us in civics. Okay, did you all get it? So to, next time when we
Sure.
meet.